So at this year's GDC, Epic revealed Unreal 5.4, and with this update, it feels very much that they're actually giving the whole animation community a massive hug, because there's so many amazing updates that I'm going to break down in this video on why they are so amazing from a game development perspective. And the animator in me, the game director in me, the studio owner in me is incredibly excited about this. So without further ado, let's get to it. So welcome everybody, feels so good to be back. Things have been absolutely chaotic for the last 3 weeks. It feels good to finally have a little bit of a settle time between GDC 2 or 3 weeks ago and then Oslo last week. Things have been hectic. But without further ado, if you're new to this channel, my name is Harvey Newman. I've been in games development for 20 plus years. And in this video, I'd like to break down a little bit about the features, about the new update in Unreal 5.4 that are coming at the end of this month that I'm most excited about, because genuinely the animation updates are absolutely insane. I'll link down below a video that Epic has put out that actually has about an hour's worth of updates that they went on stage on the Epic room and basically broke down exactly how they actually got all the animations to be featured in the engine and what kind of the benefits they have and all that stuff, and how they got to the conclusion on how to use certain features. But I want to start with talking about motion matching, because I think that's the biggest update that Unreal had for 5.4, and what an update it is. And motion matching is a tech, for those that don't know, that has been around for quite a few years, and it was pioneered, even though it was discovered here in Scotland, actually in the University of Edinburgh. It's been pioneered by Ubisoft for the most part, when they started using it in Assassin's Creed and a few other games. And it hasn't really been seen in many other games. And the reason why is because it's so heavy and very expensive to run. Because the difference between animation as it happens right now in games normally and motion matching is this. Animation, normally when you actually want a character to idle and go for a walk and run or sprint, you normally have a handful of animations. So you have one idle, and then you have a transition from idle to walk, and then you have a walking loop, and then you have basically a transition from walking loop to run, then you have a run loop, and then you have hopefully a sprint. So that's basically how it goes. So as you can see, about 5, 6, 7 animations are normally more than enough to make sure that the character can walk around, and is actually very efficient, doesn't cost very much, it's great. Now, when it comes to mocap, which is another piece of cost, same thing. You can just get an actor to kind of go ahead and tell them, now walk, and then we capture that and put it in our game. Now sprint, capture that, put it in our game. Also, very straightforward, very cheap, good times. Motion matching is very different. And I'll try to link down below one talk that I had from a good friend of mine that he did at GDC that actually explains motion matching and how they actually went about capturing motion matching. And what he does, what they do, anyways, when it comes to motion matching is basically you have to capture data, as much data as possible, so you can actually pick from the data in order to animate. So instead of you giving the engine specific animations and say pick from these animations only, what you are saying is, behind the scenes there's lots of computational power, and you give the computer a whole lot of animations, right? And this is how motion matching happens, and then the computer decides at what frame there's a good blending frame to go into the next stage of the animation, or state of the animation. And then basically those transitions look incredibly seamless because there's computational power happening, and there's frames being selected at any one point as the player is with the stick or the keyboard selecting exactly where they want to go. So it looks incredibly fluid and is so dope, right? But the animators have less saying exactly what animations get picked. Now, in order for you to be able to actually get this whole thing to work, you need to go to a mocap volume and capture what they called, I think it's called dancing cards or motion cards. It depends. Different studios call it different things, but you need to actually go to a studio and tell the actor, instead of doing just the run or the walk or the idle, you have to tell the actor to then go in circles in certain patterns and just continuously do it at different speeds, right? And then stop that and then go into a different pattern and do the same thing. And the reason why that happens is because at any one point, the engine can go like at this point blend with this other animation, right? So the engine is kind of choosing exactly where those start and end points happen. So as you can imagine, because you have so much data, right, in terms of animations, you can choose from so many animations, it becomes really, really heavy on the engine if the engine is not ready for it. And also the engineering feat to make that stuff work is insane. So what Epic has announced is that they're actually delivering a library of 500 animations, so you can actually get like try motion matching, right? And this is very clever of Epic, because even though 500 animations sound like a lot, that's the kind of number that you need of animations to make motion matching work. And because of this, this will make it accessible to everybody, because if you can have the system to actually play motion matching and you have the animations to actually kind of like construct motion matching, it means that like a mechanic, you can go in and try to, you know, maybe exchange them, maybe make them better, maybe replace them with your own animations. And also because Epic Unreal is so huge, it means that more people can actually test motion matching and also become much more of a, you know, mainstream situation. Another good thing about this is that like we have been using motion matching a little bit in our game, and other studios do it as well. And all this time, unfortunately, the plugin in Unreal from the plugin marketplace that you can actually download and install and start working with, unfortunately is not really available for you to actually use in your game prime time. What that means is that when you create a build, when you actually want to kind of like give a build to somebody that has motion matching, it means that you cannot package this plugin. You cannot like take this stack with you and actually put it in your final game. So what this means is that by the time 5.4 comes out at the end of this month and you upgrade, it means that you can start packaging this stack with your own builds for free, and also the animations will start becoming better. So all of that to say that I think that this is going to be a massive leap forward for most games, if not all games out there, because you'll start to see much more fluid animations, because it's no longer about kind of like picking specific animations and making sure that the animations are like super high quality, they blend correctly, and iteration time. It means that you can actually start kind of like capturing a bunch of stuff, putting it in an engine, putting it in a nice system, and then basically have the engine basically select between animations. So I think that's really, really amazing for us animators, and it's going to be amazing for the future of games as well. Now, I've been talking for quite a bit, so I'm going to touch on a few other things that I really enjoyed from the 5.4 update that actually caters to us animators. And the other thing that I really enjoyed was the fact that you can now build modular rigs within Unreal. And to me, it was very much like this is going to be the future 100%. The first time that I saw anybody animating anything in Unreal, I was like, I can see it and I really want it, but I don't think it's ready for prime time. However, if you can start building modular rigs within Unreal, it means that you can start thinking about how you want to animate these things properly and change things. And I do think that the tooling that they have right now is much more expensive. It means that you can do much more with the things that you can build in rigs and you can animate as well. So I think that's going to be really, really cool. I also saw that they actually updated the graph editor. The graph editor is much more similar to Maya. It used to be, and Maya is the de facto gold standard for graph editors. And they're starting to make it even more close to Maya, but at the same time they have lots of clever things that Maya doesn't have that I think that makes it even better. But not quite yet, but in the future. But I do think they are thinking outside the box on how to build a graph editor that actually does more than what Maya can do with the engine in mind, which is great. It's really, really cool. And then the last thing that I saw that I think that is actually really amazing is that they have an automatic retargeting. So retargeting, for those that don't know, is having a character of certain proportions, like then have all kinds of animations, let's say, and then you want to have a character that is like, you know, half the size, but you want the same animations on the character of the same size. So for example, lots of games have games that you can customize your character, right? And the character can have different heights, but you want your character to have all the animations that the game have. So you need to basically cater for the different sizes of the characters. So to do this, you normally use retargeting. Now, retargeting has historically been a really complex process because you normally have to use something like Motion Builder, which is really good at retargeting, by the way. and then take all your mocap, all the animation assets that you actually used in game, put it in Motion Builder, load it up on the original character, and then load the new skeleton of the new size, and then basically just go build a script or something, and then go animation to animation and start retargeting the animations, and then import the new animations from the new skeleton into engine, and then click it and connect it with the new engine, or the new skeleton I should say. So you can tell that there's a lot of back and forth right now to actually just get a character of a different size to move like a character of a bigger size, let's say. So here it means that not only can you actually rig in engine, not only can you animate in engine, but also you can actually get characters of different sizes to reuse the same animations, which is really important in games. So that was an amazing addition as well. So there was also updates for the sequencer, which is another thing that animators use a lot for cutscenes and in-game cutscenes, scripted events. So that was another bonus that we had as well. So overall, as I said in the beginning, I felt like Epic on this specific release just gave us all in animation a massive hug and said, we got you guys, this is going to be great for animation in the future, and maybe come over here and start animating things directly in engine. And still the jury is out to actually find out exactly if you can animate as well as you do in Maya in Unreal, but they're certainly trying, and that matters a lot. So that's it. That was all the updates that I enjoyed, that I felt like it was absolutely amazing, and I hope you guys go and check it out, anybody that hasn't so far. I'm a bit late because obviously they released this about 3 weeks ago, but unfortunately I couldn't make the video before. But if you enjoyed it, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then consider subscribing. Comment down below about your most exciting features, and if I missed anything, definitely give me a shout in the comments and I'll definitely reply. And until the next video, I hope you guys, as always, stay well, stay safe. Peace.